Hi, welcome to Tennis Folder. Today I'm going to be showing you some of the settings for captains. It's kind of the basic video for captains, and we're going to follow this up with a video on how practices and matches work. Okay, so here I am on my home page, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click here to go to my profile. And if I scroll down, since I'm a captain, I can see here there's captain settings. Let me go ahead and click here. So I have a few settings available for me. The first setting here is receive availability notifications, and if that's checked on, that basically will make it so that I as a captain will receive a notification anytime a player on my team updates their availability for an upcoming match. If it was checked off, I won't be receiving the notifications. The next one, receive roster notifications. If it's checked on, it basically will do a check against the roster on the USTA team and on Tennis Folder and make sure that the two are in sync. If it's checked off, then you will not be receiving any notifications if there's a difference between the rosters. The third one here, disable team preferences. Usually it's off, and what that is basically in Tennis Folder, you have an ability to allow your players to specify their preferences. So at the simplest level, it would be, do you like to play singles or doubles? But additionally, if you do play doubles, each player can actually specify which partners they prefer to pair with and which partners maybe they don't prefer to pair with when they're in a match. If you check this and disable those team preferences, the players will not have that option available. And the last one here, lineup confirmation reminders, is basically enabled. If it's on, it enables automatic reminders to go out to players that are in a match that have not yet confirmed themselves for the match. So now, next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to click done here. And now I want to show you a little bit about the team page. So I'm going to click here to go to my teams, and then I'm going to click on my team. And the first view I have here is the view of the roster. And the roster shows everyone on my roster. You'll see these little symbols here, and these are basically indicating if the player likes to play singles or doubles. In this case, Anita 14, for example, likes to play singles and doubles. Now, in this case, the team has player preferences enabled on the team. So I'm going to go ahead and click on her name. And when I click on her name, I can see her personal preferences. And it's nice because she can put in her preferences and the rest of the players on the team can't see these preferences. And if I needed to update them, I as well could update them. I could click here on preferred partners. You can see she selected the partners she prefers to partner with for doubles. And if I click here on non-preferred, you can see that she also has a partner that she prefers not to play with. And then this preferred only here is basically saying that if it's set to no, that means that she's willing to play with other folks that might be available for a particular match if her preferred partners are not available. And you can also click this little symbol here, and it gives you information on what this means. So when people are putting in their preferences, they can understand what the different options are. Okay, so I'm going to hit this X here. And you'll also notice that there's a couple columns of numbers here. The G represents how many games each of these players has already played in the current season. And the A represents the number of games, future matches, that the player has marked themselves available for. So this gives you a good snapshot of the entire season and who all's played and who all's available for the upcoming season as I scroll down here. And additionally, you'll also notice that there's an icon, contact icon next to each of these players. That's available for all the players on the team. You can click on this icon and you can easily call or text or email any of your players. This next symbol here shows the practices that are already scheduled. In this case, we have one practice scheduled. The plus sign here is available only to the captain and co-captain to be able to create new practices. And then the next tab here is matches, and this shows the entire season. So for the matches in the past, you'll see this black and white checkered flag. And then as I scroll down to the bottom here, towards the end of the season here, you can see that the upcoming matches, you see my individual availability marked for each of these matches. Okay, now if I needed to edit this team, I could just click here on these three dots and I can edit the team from here. And what that does is it basically allows me to add people to the roster, delete people from the roster, as well as allow food assignments or don't allow food assignments or change the foods. So for example, if I click here on players, it shows me my current roster. Now I was told that I had typed in someone's email address wrong, and so here she is. So past2@tennisfolder.com never confirmed herself because I typed in her email incorrectly. So I can just click here on the red trash can and delete her, and she's gone. And then I can click here to add the correct email address. So it was supposed to be 2 2s, not 1. So I go ahead and type in her email address here to add her to the roster. So I type in the email, the plus sign becomes active. You click the plus sign, you click done here, and the next thing is I would hit the save button here. So I click save, and that basically will invite her with her correct email address to the team. Okay, the next thing I'd like to show you is how food assignments are assigned and how you set them. So I'm going to go ahead and click here again to edit the team. And here I can see that allow food assignments is checked. So when this is checked, that means that foods will automatically be assigned to the players in the match for home matches. And I can actually select this team foods, and that'll expand out and it'll show me the foods that are in here. And so we have a variety of foods, and in this case we have 8 foods listed because in this season there are 2 singles and 3 doubles, so 8 people are playing. Now let's say we decided, you know what, we want to change some of these. I could just, like, for example, I have appetizer here, and I might say, you know what, I don't really want appetizer, so we're going to go ahead, I can just hit this trash can here to delete that. And then it gives me a warning to please select 8 food items, and I can just click in here and put in whatever I want to substitute. So let's just say I want to add some beer to this list. All right, and now you can see that beer's been listed at the end, and I can click done here, and I just edited the food assignments. The nice thing about using the food assignments within the app is that for each player in the lineup, the app will actually look at the history of that player's season so far, and it'll assign a different food than what they've been assigned in the past. Now, if you're in a club where maybe the food's all provided and the players don't need to bring it, you could actually deselect this allow food assignments, and in that case, no foods would be assigned for home matches. All right, so since I made changes, the save button is green. Anytime the save button is green, I want to click it. That means I've made some changes to make sure I save my updates. All right, I think that provides a good overview of the settings. I'm going to go ahead and click here. And thanks for watching.